Zero? Is it zero yet?
And good evening.
Have we hit zero?
And welcome to the Boys from the Baltic Star. Thank you for your patience. Sorry we're getting underway a little bit late this evening. We are doing... Yes, I do always stop the countdown at 3. And there is a reason for that, but apparently it's escaped you. So, yes, thank you very much for joining us. And tonight, we, the Boys from the Baltic Star, are going to play an actual role-playing game, which is a treat.
Lies. Don't you dare lie.
Because this is, in fact, all about role-playing. In fact, there's very little actual game in it. So, good evening. Thank you for joining us. We are playing Cecil and Cecily Go to the Olympics, which is the third of the Cecil and Cecily stories. And I'm Ben, and with me tonight I have long-time collaborators Luke and Ewan, and we have a special guest in the form of Sock Fiddler. So, good evening to all of you. How are you doing tonight, Socks?
I'm good. I feel I've already spent my best material pre-stream. But let's see how we go. It's gonna be good.
It's going to be good, I'm sure. And Luke, how are you doing, sir?
I'm all right. I've saved all my good material for the stream. I just gave you the junk.
Are you twirling? Are you twirling your moustache there, my friend?
I think we knew that. We just didn't know there was anything better coming along.
Oh,
So it's good.
Well, there's not. I just hide it under a bad accent and pretend it's better.
And joining us for the first time for a Cecil and Cecily game is Ewan. Are you looking forward to this, Ewan?
I'm very much am, Ben, yes.
You're really not
I have no material whatsoever, just to put that out there now. But I'm very confident that the two people playing with me have saved all their best material.
I picked my picture with you in mind. It hasn't updated. I even updated my picture and it hasn't updated it.
I've had to send the contrast down because of Ewan's face.
It's a lot. You know, when the song says "shine bright like a diamond," that's a metaphor, right?
I went to Spain and all I got was this lousy face.
I like how I'm being mocked by the person who waits all year for the sun to come round. Harsh.
Oh.
Desperate for that vitamin D.
I need all the vitamins I can get, mate. So yeah, that's why there's very limited vitamins in this.
Right. So cut through the chaos a little bit.
Have we started the game yet?
Let's get started with the actual game, because I'm sure there'll be plenty of time for some digressions and some randomness going forward.
It's a very serious game.
So to begin, this is the second session of the third story.
What dice do I need, Ben? What dice do I need?
You don't need any dice.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, especially not a D10.
No. It's facts. It says right there.
You might need a D12.
Oh.
I only said that because you just put them away.
Made him sad now.
I only counted 10. Oh, there's a 12. It's a nice shape. Okay, I've got it. There we go.
So, it's the year 1612.
Oh, I better write that down.
As good a year as any.
I thought it was 17.
Oh, God.
1612. As good a year as any, I suppose. England is ruled by King James I. Scotland, meanwhile, is ruled by King James VI. Amazingly, they're the same person. A lawyer, because those existed that far back, called Robert Dover, has proposed a sporting event of a sort the world hasn't seen for millennia, an Olympic Games. Naturally, given the importance of such an event, the selection of the host city was a critical part of the success of the Games. The tiny village of Chipping Campden was selected, based on the fact that its bid was supported by the lawyer, Robert Dover, who lives there.
No, Bobby D.
The construction of the Olympic venues took place quickly, being sited at a place called Dover's Field, because, well, I'm sure you've already seen that the entire process was clearly above board and open to all possible bids. Dover was a gifted publicist, and he spread news of his Olympics far afield, as far as Wales. Now, word had reached the king that there might be matters of concern at these Olympics. Specifically, there might be gambling, horseplay, and possibly a little hint of treason. Accordingly, he sent his finest agents, Cecil and Cecily, foilers of the gunpowder plot, rescuers of Marlowe from prison in Flushing. Cecily did have a slight issue in that she was determined to participate in the games. This is, of course, forbidden because she's a woman. She also has a problem with the secret part of the term secret agent, as a grateful Christopher Marlowe has written a play about her, called The Comedy of Cecily, in which her bucket of sprats plays a critical role. Accordingly, she has disguised herself as a visiting Spanish shin kicker known as Manuel Manuel. Our heroes have prepared themselves by dining on hogget pie and whiskey. There is an impressive Welsh shin kicker called Dawes, who seems to be the focus of friendly attention, possibly because he comes from a land so far away. Much of the attention turns to the first bout, and there's a bit of excitement as he makes it smoothly through to the next round. In that round, he will face the winner of the match between Jack Spelt, a local enthusiast, and the exotic Manuel Manuel. There's a small group of seemingly well-dressed men who are trying to remain inconspicuous about their interest in Dawes, but clearly, based on their reaction, must have had a bet on the match. Cecil approached them to see if they'd be interested in a bet on the next match, but they decline, saying that maybe they'll be interested if Manuel goes on to face Dawes. Manuel has decided to cheat, of course, but in the normal way of things. Stacking herself with plenty of whiskey as a painkiller and then making sure there's a little bit of subtle protection for the shins. In this era before formal refereeing standards, this is nothing more than strategy. Manuel has been obvious, but also Cecil has done an almost Chaucerian effort in building interest. He offers quarter to Spelt before the match, which Spelt ignores. It's 11:30. Manuel is facing Spelt. Cecil's first match in the sledgehammer throw is half an hour away.
I'm late.
But first, boots and shins. Okay. Now, Manuel has literally just offered Spelt quarter, and he has ignored that. He is happy to proceed, and the referee has said, right, on the count of 3, begin your kicking.
Before he counts to 3, Cecil is going to take, the character of Chaucer in A Canterbury Tale, in A Knight's Tale, sorry,
yes,
in the film. He's going to take the stage. He's going to barge between them, and he's going, all right, my lovers, I'd like to introduce to you the most magnificent shin kicker this side of the Americas. I introduce to you Manuel Manuel, el masculinissimo, l'il subdito di su santissima gracia el re Felipe III, caminante del Camino di Santiago di Compostela, hijau de la montana, poeta de los 7 mares, vencedor de las tinieblas, intrusado de la ropa interior femenina y patador de espinillas. And he just waits for an applause.
It's not coming.
He wanders off. He gives Manuel.
They lost you about 5 or 10 seconds into that lot.
He gives Manuel a manly pat on the shoulder.
The whole time, my true name is being read out. Manuel Manuel is flinging his cape about him and heartily kissing ladies' wrists and tipping the brim of his hat to gentlemen, and ensuring that they all recognise the full glory of Manuel Manuel.
Okay. Now, in the crowd, because this has drawn a big crowd, Spelt is a local. He's known to everyone from Chipping Camden. Manuel has made a big impression. He's very lavish and exotic and foreign, but also loud and demonstrative. So the crowd is big. So I have to ask Ewan, whereabouts is your character standing? In the crowd? And if so, at the front or skulking around at the back?
Yeah, very much in the crowd. They would have rightfully barged their way to the front. I feel, to try and get the best view. They don't. It's not a place they're accustomed to. But when in Rome, amongst all of these people, not in Rome, it's the Olympics, but not that one. They'll roll their sleeves up and take their place at the front to get a good view of the shin kicking that is about to happen.
Okay, all right. So, I would like you to tell me: are you square onto the side of them, or behind one or the other?
I'd like to think to the side to try and get the best.
You want seats on the halfway line, basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which feels appropriate for shin kicking. You don't want a behind the goal seat because
Agreed.
There's a whole solid
you could
person
miss
in
quite a
your,
lot of the
in your
action.
way. Yeah.
Now, as you settle in that location, Cecil, have you stepped into the sort of ring in order to make your pronouncement?
I have. I flourished, and I made it. But I'd like to think that if I've finished it, I am taken aback away again at that point. But for that short time, I am indeed between the two gentlemen.
Okay.
Right.
So when you finished and you get basically a lot of people just staring at you with completely blank expressions, when you back away, are you going to back away to kind of the halfway line?
I'll tell you what, that feels absolutely right. There does appear to be a gentleman in my way, but I'll try and barge through him a little bit.
Okay. Now, as you do this and you sort of brush past each other and turn, you hear the referee once again start the count, and he says, "On three, 5, 4, 3."
Oh God, I just scared the dog. I feel no man. And immediately, Cecily draws back her leg and lands with her oak toe-capped shoe just underneath the kneecap of this poor mouse with all her force.
Cheers.
Okay, you're going high, as they say. Right. So
Is that the terminology for it?
you launch this attack, and Spelt has been like up on the balls of his feet, waiting to see if you would go in quickly. He tries to dance out of the way, and though you do catch him with your boot, it's not as effective as you were hoping. He's managed to lift the shin you were aiming for just off the ground, so you more push it away rather than land a serious blow. And as soon as he's sure that your move's completed and he can put his foot back down again, he literally raises his arm to the crowd to encourage them to give him some support before moving back in and grabbing onto your arms to see if he can make a further attack.
Foolish man. While he's busy waving to the crowd, I start doing jumping jacks. He cannot meet my legs. Ah, young boy.
Okay, you enter the grip again and start the process of just looking for an opening, moving your feet around. He makes an attack. His right foot jabs forwards and goes for your shin. He's going to try to use the inside of his boot to rake down the outside of your leg.
Sure, good luck to him. I roll a 20.
On a D12, yes.
I'm that good.
Okay. You evade it neatly. His attempt meets only air, and of course he's now overextended himself. His back leg is possible to be vulnerable to an attack if you want to go for it, or you can try to do something more creative if you prefer.
I hold Jack by the upper arm, just as
Mhm.
he is gripping me, and I do a little dance, where I kick my leg to one side and I kick the other leg to the other side, and I, just being jaunty until he refines his balance. And at that point, I too wave to the crowd and then attempt a cross shin kick. So my right foot to his left shin.
Okay.
And I go slowly so he can feel my right leg lifting, and hopefully he braces for a right leg attack, leaving all of his weight on his left foot.
That's exactly what he does, and he takes the weight off his right foot so that when you attack, he'll be able to whip the leg out of the way. You've telegraphed it well. He can actually feel your body twisting in his arms as he prepares for it.
I am sorry, my boy. I do what must be done. Whack. Clunk.
You're going to straighten out on the same leg and go for his braced leg.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Mhm.
You do this, and he fails to react quickly enough. You feel the outside of your boot run down his shin, and he lets out this yelp of pain. It's a really good hit. For a moment, he looks. You can actually feel him sort of shake a little bit where you're holding on, but he grits his teeth and glares at you and tries to make it look like he's not badly hurt, but it looks like you caught him a good one.
What are the rules? Do I have to wait until he's regained his composure before going again?
The rules basically are this: you hold on to each other's forearms, gripping
Oh,
basically each other's
excuse me.
wrists,
Okay.
and then you stand facing each other, and you kick each other's shins in any way or measure you like until one of you surrenders. Basically, it is
Okay.
a very sophisticated game
Fine.
with a lot of
As
nuance to it.
as he recovers, can I try and kick whatever leg he's climbing back to balance on out from under him?
Yes, you can.
Then I'm going to do that.
Are you going to swap legs or use the same one?
Let's swap legs. So I've kicked, he's reeled, I put my foot down, I'm going with the other one.
All right. So by doing that, you can plant the leg you just used as the kick to a little bit further forward and sort of move into him as you drive your foot into his other leg. And this time, you see tears come to his eyes. It's absolutely agonising, and he can't really put weight on either foot without
Oh,
without
no.
feeling that it's just incredible pain. He tries to have a little go back at you, but he backs out of it. He's really struggling. But as you complete the move and come back down, even though he can't really counterattack for a moment, he still hasn't yielded, and he looks up and glares at you.
My boy, you don't have to do this. There are other ways to be a man. Have you tried the willy wag?
There's a
Clearly,
there's a long moment where he's pausing with a quizzical expression on his face, and then you start to realise that he's just delaying in order to get his strength back.
Oh, then I kick him again. Fuck it.
He tries to evade, but you manage to catch him on the shin and drive down towards the foot, and he's just not nimble enough to evade it again. He's barely landed, even the breath of wind on your legs, and every time he tries something, it just ends with more pain for him. He glances left and right to see the sort of expectant faces of his friends from the local community, and with a yell, sort of deliberately lets go with both of his hands and calls out, "Yield!"
I kneel before him with a flourish, graciously acknowledging my victory. And then I stand and bow.
Oh, And then as soon as the bell's finished, Cecil will come piling in, throw his arms around Manuel Manuel, pointing at him, saying, "Look, everyone, this is Manuel Manuel, el masculissimo, mi subito di sucintissima, grazie Rey Felipe III, caminante del Camino de Santiago de Compostela, hijo de la montaña, poeta de los siete mares, vencedor de las tinieblas, intruso de la Europa interior, femenina y pateador de espinillas." You take him seriously, right?
Okay.
I walk over to the nearest buxom wench, and I twirl her into my arms, and bow to kiss her cheek before returning her to whatever man I've just stolen her from.
Okay. The crowd is very appreciative of the bout. It didn't last as long as they were hoping, and obviously they know Spelt and they wanted him to do well, but you guys have won over the crowd quite a lot. That this dashing foreigner is capturing the attention of this relatively parochial and rural little group, and their enthusiasm hasn't even been dampened by Spanish spoken in a Brummie accent very badly and repeatedly, which none of them understand. It's not the Spanish, it's the Brummie accent.
The first time any of them have ever heard Spanish, so that's
Some
how
of
they
them
think it
a Brummie
sounds.
accent, to be
Yeah,
honest.
That's just Spanish now. The next time they hear somebody who's actually Spanish, they're going to be like, check out that guy's accent.
It's really weird. Yes. I do like the last bit of the thing though. I think that is very good. The last bit of the toast or the speech is very good.
That's his name. That's just his name.
So there is, as I say, a huge round of applause, and as the crowd begins to disperse, Cecil, you find yourself standing next to a person who is clearly sticking by your side.
All right, my man. Did you enjoy the fight, did you?
Ewan?
It was just spectacular. A valorous show of shin kicking strength. You showed our man there a good walloping. Well done.
Oh, valorous walloping. You're a fancy man, ain't you?
No. Sorry, say that again. I'm having some trouble. Is there something wrong with your larynx?
I said you're a fancy man, ain't you? Pretty clear, I think.
And he turns to Manuel and says, "I'm sorry, I don't speak much Spanish. Could you translate for me?"
Cecily, eager to not give herself away, bows deeply and then says,
Manuel el masculinísimo.
I don't know if you can hear it.
Su santidad el rey Felipe III, caminante del camino de Santiago de Compostela, hijo de la montaña, poeta de los siete mares, vencedor de las tinieblas, intruso de la ropa interior femenina y temible pateador de espinillas.
At your very service.
That sounded almost Spanish, but your accent is very odd. Still, well done. You won me a fair share of coin there. Thank you.
And yet you have me at a disadvantage. Who are you, my good man?
I am Cyrano Cavendish, the fourth Marquis of Wednesbury.
What happened to the first three? That wasn't meant to stymie.
Is that a Spanish joke?
Oh, I'll tell you what, Manuel. I've been to Wednesbury before. I had to shoot my horse there once. It died. It did. It's a it's an interesting place, Mr. Cavendish, Lord Cavendish, Marquis Cavendish. If I must, are you available for a few minutes? We were about to toast our success in this nearby tent. Would you like to join us for a tot of mead or something like that?
Well, I tell you, let me collect my winnings, and this one's on me. You've done me well, and it's the least I can do.
Why, Cecily, I think this is a fish we could maybe milk a little for a little bit of money, if you know what I mean.
Cecil, you remember what I told you about milking fish again, right?
Well, that's why I'm not allowed near your bucket.
Not with the fish, no.
No. Look, maybe get a few drinks out of him, maybe a pie or two. You know, maybe I can put a little bet in him through him in one of your fights. Make a little bit of money on the side. Like we're here for business, but I've got a bit Irish.
Got a bit Irish.
Got a bit Irish.
Oh, Jesus. Let's take him for a crack and see what we can get out of him. Jesus, Cecil. How many times have I told you?
I need a brummy word to get back, Tao. There we go. Ozzy Osbourne.
What
Okay, I'm
accent do I
back
have
now.
now?
Where
I don't know where I'm from anymore.
It's all this spying. It's hard to keep track of all my accents.
Do you actually say it's all this spying in front of Serrano?
No. He's gone to get his winnings.
Okay.
Couldn't understand him anyway.
To be fair, it
So-
is something we would say to each other. Yeah.
Serrano, I assume your winnings were of the manner of a gentleman's wager, not a huge amount of
No.
money.
Of course.
Well, then you collect your modest, but nice reward. And if you,
Do we get a percentage of the winnings if we win? Isn't that normally how it works?
this is the Olympics. It's an amateur competition.
Such a working class mindset.
Wow.
Mm.
Cecil.
Yes, my lovely.
I gotta tell you, I'm in the bathroom and I'm very uncomfortable in this field. I ain't gonna piss up no tree like that fella over there.
Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't I go and I'll go and dig a little hole by a tree.
Look, the shiwi's not gonna be invented for another 350
Ah, but
years.
you can squat and have a little whittle, my love.
Whittle. Oh, I love you so much, Cecil. You take it. Wasn't I from the West Country? Oh, I love you so much.
Yeah. Very upset with your changing accent recently, my love. Too much spying, I think.
It's the menopause, darling. I can't.
Yes. So, so you have agreed to meet at the tent. Does this mean that Cecil will get there first?
No.
And then we'll get together. He's my hype man, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Then in that case, if you
Massaging Manuel's shoulders as we go.
And I'm kissing all the ladies.
of course, yes. Well, then in that case,
Is this
if you
before,
take your
after, or
time,
during the urination?
you will actually arrive after Serrano.
Oh.
Wow. After we're taking our time. What's he doing?
Well, he's just gone to collect a little bit of money, and then he's straight to the beer tent. And he's not going to be, having extensive conversations with the person who's just lost money to him. So, Cyrano, when you walk inside, you are going to notice the group of well-dressed men in the beer tent, enjoying their drinks. And these are people you've seen before, because when you were paying attention to Cecil's movements earlier, you saw him chatting with them. You don't know the content of their conversation, but they ignore you completely and don't seem to be remotely interested in the sport either, though they were very excited with the previous shin kicking match.
He'll wander over barward and try and take up a position where that's close enough to maybe overhear any conversation, to try and pick up on any rapport that they may have with the shin kicking wonder kid that is Manuel Manuel, but not too close.
So I'm going to suggest that in a place that's relatively busy, people coming and going and chatting and toasting, you're not going to be able to hear what they say.
That's fair.
Not from any distance that they wouldn't be immediately aware that you were next to them. Their heads are also quite close together, and that you wouldn't necessarily call it conspiratorial, but they're definitely speaking very very intently to each other, and taking their turns to make actual points. You know, they're tapping the table with their fingers and gesticulating, not hugely but intently.
So they're having an intense conversation amongst themselves without engaging anybody else in a beer tent.
Yes.
In a tent.
Not paying attention to anything else going on around them except each other in a non-conspiratorial way.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. It's not intrinsically rising to the standard of suspicious, but it's definitely, if you're paying attention to them, you definitely notice.
I think that's pretty suspicious. Anyway, Cecily has a whittle, her whittle,
Okay.
and is very, very careful when she remounts her 11 layers to keep the bark and the wood on her shins in the correct placement. And then nods and adjusts her merkin, because she's wearing a merkin, if you recall, on her face. I think that was Luke's favourite part of the disguise, honestly.
Oh, that's strong.
A strong merkin.
That's very strong merkin.
And then she puts her hand out for Cecil to help her up, and then remembers that she's all butch and manly, gets up by herself. Excuse me. Would you believe I swallowed funny? Not appropriate in any way. And then she follows Cecil, flourishing the cape, bowing deeply and kissing ladies, and constantly saying her name.
Cecil will see Serrano by the bar area and wave over to him. Ah, my friends. They got any wine here?
They have.
Cyrano, can I hit Cyrano? De Bergerac.
Oh, jeez. He'll
I've just kidded. The dirtiest beer you can find, my friend. The dirtiest beer. I'm an easy drinker, my friend Manuel. I'm trying to teach him the ways of England. So he'll have the warmest, flattest beer we can find, my friend. No fancy muck here.
Two of those, is that? And he'll look to Manuel.
Now, what is this warm beer you speak of? I'd rather a sherry. From the cask from Spain.
No, my friend. Manuel. Remember, we have to. I've gone a bit Del Boy. Manuel. What have I told you? With that bit of beer, we'll get an extra little bit of fat around those shins of yours. Give you a little bit more strength, my friend.
Is it what the peasants drink in the field?
It certainly is.
And I'll have two. I went fully South Wales there. I'll have two.
I'll have two.
In Swansea.
It's not been a good night for accents. We're trying.
It's you and cursed us by saying that I couldn't do a decent French in it. Not my confidence. How dare you, sir?
Did I say that?
Yeah.
No. Sorry.
I said
didn't
Russ
mean
in
that.
after you, for heaven's sakes.
Oh yeah, I didn't say it tonight. Okay, that's fine. I feel less bad now. Time,
Oh, that's fine.
the time guilt line. Cyrano will turn to the person behind the bar, who I assume whilst waiting, he's given a substantial amount of coin to just stay there and wait so that he can get quick service when the fabled shin kicker arrives, and he'll pause for a moment and just four of your dirtiest beers, my good man.
Immediately, the bar wench, as it is in fact, nods
My mistake.
and walks over to some big barrels at the back. She's able to line up the 4 glasses underneath 4 different taps, and she opens them all because they all contain what is fundamentally beer. It's not like you get a variety of beer in 1612. It's beer. They all come out slightly different colours, but they were intended to be the same beer. It's just precision measuring isn't really a thing for another 150 years.
While we wait for the beer to be poured, Cecily will wink at Cecil and go, I know how you like a lady with a big barrel.
You'd like to take it with 2 big jugs, my love, Manuel.
I love you too, my big man.
Let's have a manly cuddle, my friend.
Sure.
Just checking your manly buttocks are still nice and strong for the next fights.
They are like iron, my friend.
Oh, they truly are.
Manuel makes a fist and raises his forearm. Iron, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
And then he turns to our new friend, Lord of Wednesbury, and says, "Feel my armor. Feel how hard I am." Flexes his arm right in front of me.
Oh, he's not the only one that's hard right now, my friend.
It's a fine offer, but here first, take your 2, and he looks over at Cecil. Take your 2 big jugs off of me. Two glasses of beer.
Oh, you and that soft brand.
Oh, thank you, my friend. I do like to get my hands on a nice pair of jugs.
Oh, I will see your jug and I will drink deeply. Manuel knocks the pint back because let's not forget he's actually a fishwife from Billingsgate. Can down a pint in less than 30 seconds and chuck the empty behind her. Immediately starts on the next one and then voraciously wipes his mouth with his sleeve. I fear no man.
That's more impressive than your shin kicking, if I can say so.
Evening, gaggers. Hi. Hello, guys. Just a great character again.
Hey.
Just to say hi to our friends. Anyway, drinking, throwing glasses. I don't know if I've hit anybody. I don't care.
Okay, so you're just basically going to down the first one and throw the glass away and then get on with the second.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We know she can drink. I mean, we saw that at the bonfire night adventure. She can hold her ale.
Oh, she is a West Country fishwife of fairly substantial build. She can drink. I mean, she probably can drink so well that if drinking was an event at the Olympics, she wouldn't be eligible because she's not an amateur.
That's fair. That's. However, she's so proud of her ability to outdrink any man in this tent that just for a moment she winks at Cecil and goes, "All right, my love, I know you like it," and then recovers her accent and says, "Oh, I was playing around. Oh, I feel."
Well, Cecil composed himself a little bit hot under the collar. There's a little bit of that. And then quickly turns away. Cyrano, if I may call you to that, what brings you here to this wonderful Olympics today?
Why the spectacle of the sport, of course, the glorious shin kicking, the thrill of the competition, and the chance to win some money, which
Oh,
your friend here has graciously provided me with.
well, stay with us, my friend, and we might make you some more money today. But surely there must be more to your life than just turning up for the thrill of the game and the money, as it were. Do you have any
I don't.
what do you do in your spare time, my friend?
I would, of course. Sometimes I hunt. Sometimes we fish on my land. Sometimes there's a lot going on. Lots of hobbies. Lots of fun. Sometimes you have to keep the house staff in line. And
Oh,
it's a busy life.
it certainly sounds like it. Do you ever get any sprats around your place?
My river is full of sprats. Full of them, I tell you. They're practically overflowing at the brim. I hear we sold some to the merchants here. I hear they do an excellent sprat.
Manuel
Oh,
is physically trembling.
well, if we keep you good
Are
in
you
money today, my friend, if we keep you good in money, could you perhaps see your way to fill our bucket with sprats?
Nice big ones. Make them big.
I think at that point, Cyrano thinks strongly reminded of buckets of sprats. Are you are you a fan of Marlowe as well? Have you seen that play?
It's Steve Marlowe from down the way.
No.
Roger Marlowe, the the blacksmith from Walsall.
From where?
Walsall, my friend.
Oh, sorry, you went a bit Spanish there again.
I fear no man.
Yeah.
Precisely. No, the playwright, the glorious playwright. He wrote a wonderful play about I forget the person's name now.
Look,
A woman and a bucket of sprats.
look.
It was enthralling.
I tell you, my friend, you seem quite a trustworthy figure to me. Any man that has a river full of sprats, my dear old mother used to say, is a man to be trusted. Now, look, come with me and my dear friend to this dark corner of the tent, okay, where there's no one around and there's lots of shadows, okay? Come on, follow me now. Are you? Look, we're here now, right? Look, you can barely see. Look, now, I'm going to share with you our little secret, all right? Now, my friend here, Manuel Manuel. Now,
Well,
what I want y'all to do is to touch his chest.
Jesus, Luke.
Is it full of gold? Where is it?
Well, so I always thought it's quite a valuable area in Manuel Manuel.
At this point, Cecily, is almost overwhelmed at the thought of
Always
so
is.
many sprats. She's clinging quite eagerly to Cecil's arm with one arm, and with the other arm, she reaches up and very carefully tugs off the Merkin.
All right.
Moment.
Grief. You can't pause in the middle of that sentence.
No, not that one.
Oh,
the
for
one on her
goodness.
face. The one on
Okay.
her face. That doesn't
Okay.
make it much better if you've just arrived in the stream.
No.
Let's say the Merkin that is acting as the fake beard, he pulls it off her face, and gives their rich friend a saucy wink and goes, "All right, my love."
You see, my friend, this
You're-
is Marlowe's muse.
In the flesh, my darling.
Your Spanish accent has got much better. I must say.
Very day.
How do I can't be sure of this. This could be any woman dressed as a Spanish shin kicker. Can't even speak.
How
I'm so
dare
shocked.
you? We foiled the gunpowder plot, don't you know? And I've got a bucket the size of a bucket, and it's full of fish and ale, and there's nothing you can do about it because it's from my Cecil, and that's all there is to it.
That does sound like something that Cecily would say.
Believe me or not, I'm winning this contest, and I don't care who's got what to say about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I fully agree. I think you will. I think you're a tremendous shin kicker, as demonstrated in the last match.
It's all them years of running the cobbled streets, my darling, chasing after whatever little tyke has taken my money.
Is it actually? Did you meet the man himself? Did you meet Mark?
Marlowe,
Hmm.
let me tell you, he's very handsy, that fella.
I have heard that as well. I have heard. Well, this is truly even more of an honour than I thought it was before.
All right, keep it in your pants, mister.
Now,
My husband's right there.
did y'all know? Did y'all know that we also, Cecily here also helped foil a plot? Now, if y'all remember, there might have been a bit of talk about some people being arrested for putting some gunpowder under the Houses of Parliament.
It kind of it rings a bell. It sort of passed us by in Winsbury.
Well,
It's a long way away.
I know, and time's a bit timey-wimey, flippy-floppy. The time, really, but that was my lover as well.
She licks her finger and very clumsily, because she's had so much beer and whiskey, straightens an eyebrow that goes apparently right the way across that forehead.
It's okay, my darling. We plucked it at yesterday.
I forgot, my love. You better get back into character, though, eh? She puts the Merkin back and then swooningly bounds. And you're very service, my friend.
Now, my lovely Marquis of Wensbury, the fourth, I believe, the fourth. It's a good number, 4, isn't it? Well, we're here on a secret mission, and now neither of us are quite sure what it is, but we're here.
It's that secret.
Well,
Even you don't know what it is.
We've been told it's need to know, and we don't really need to know. But all we were told was there's an Olympics happening with Robert Dover. Have you heard of Robert Dover, my friend?
Not. No, I can't say I have. Who is the chap?
Apparently, he's a lawyer, and he basically set up this whole Olympics in his backyard, basically. But we've been noticing some suspicious fellows. I don't know if you noticed in the last fight, they've been conspiratorially putting their heads together. They've been following a Welsh shin kicker called Dawes. Did you follow him at all in his first fight?
Yes. Did quite well. Not as spectacular as Manuel Manuel here. Wink.
Well,
Thank you very much.
well, it turns out, I think he's up next for our dear friend Manuel Manuel, and Manuel, of course, will be fighting, and I'll be hyping him. But if you maybe you could get amongst the talking heads, as it were, and maybe find out a little bit about what they're going on. You're a different class to us, of course, and they may talk to you a bit better, and
Plus, I don't speak Spanish, so
they might understand you a bit more than
mm,
us.
of course. They're not. You don't mean that group? And he'll try and nod his head in the general direction of the conspiratorial group that was spotted at the bar. Don't mean that group, do you?
They're the ones, my friend. They're the ones. Now, I did get in, and we did talk to them a little bit, and they said they show a little bit of interest in the next fight. But with the next fight coming up, like I say, Manuel here, of course, in all his manly ways, will be fighting, and I'll be doing my hyping. So if maybe you can get amongst them, my friend.
What would you like to know?
Just maybe find out why they're here. Maybe why don't you go now? You're a posh toff.
I will escort you. Come on, let's go. Let us make merry with these dark fellows.
Okay.
Sure.
So
Of course.
as you start to
Cecily
move,
so Cecil will turn away to
Yep.
drink, leaving the two of them to go to the gentleman.
okay. As Cecil stands, someone walks into the tent and announces loudly that the sledgehammer throw is about to start, and with all of the contestants for the noon heat, the first heat, please come to the line immediately.
All right, well, Yautu, I'm one of the contendants, so I'd better head out now. But enjoy your time, and I'll be back soon, whether I win or lose.
Did-
And
Sorry.
that's all right.
Cecily's
Give it
got
a-
Cecil's hand as he walks past her and just give him a quick squeeze because she can't go with him.
Okay. Well,
She desperately hopes that's his hand.
he is not the only person to leave the tent, because quite a few people go out to watch the first heat of the sledgehammer throw, including that intense little group of well-dressed people.
Oh, Bucky, you are a rascal.
Cyrano will turn to Manuel and say, don't you need to hype up your friend? Is it not a reciprocal hyping?
I will go and lend my support. We will do what we can. Because I love him,
Wow.
I do. He's my fella.
I mean, I did think that before I found out your real identity, but I just wasn't going to say anything.
How very gay! That's illegal in this country.
What? My
You
apologies.
thought I was my fella before you found out I wasn't a fella? Blimey, that's unchristian.
I mean, maybe.
Swoops out the door.
And Cyrano will hurry after.
Okay, so at the line, and it is literally just a line drawn on the ground, on the grass, there are slowly assembling 6 competitors. Now, one of them seems to have his own hype man. And this is the contestant that the well-dressed men are particularly paying attention to. They seem to be standing in a little huddle, and every now and then someone's coming over and quietly having a quick word with them, and then disappearing after maybe a small bet has been arranged. But they are definitely focused on this person, and this person has a friend, an ally, a colleague who comes out and introduces him. As Glenn Henry, the Throwley Thrower, an apparently famous thrower of sledgehammers.
Fine. Manuel lets him do his little bit. And knowing that all of the crowd have been like hyped up and are really behind Manuel Manuel, Cecily steps forward,
Mm-hmm.
and takes a very deep bow and says, "And also from the deepest, darkest underground of Billingsgate, here is Cecil Bucket, the acclaimed thrower of buckets of sprats."
It's bouquet, actually.
It smells like a flower. Well, is as yet untested in these parts, but sledgehammers are no test for this man of steel and friend of mine. I present Mr. Senor Cecil Bouquet. And then he
Okay.
bows and retreats with a flourish.
Fair enough.
Hello, everybody.
There is a crowd assembling. They're mostly lining up behind the competitors, because if the thing that you're about to watch is people swinging sledgehammers around and throwing them, behind is definitely a good place to think about standing. And as the 6 competitors line themselves up along the line, the referee steps forward and says, "The rules are simple. You will each have 3 throws of the sledgehammer, and from this heat, 2 will progress to the next round. The 4 who cannot reach the further distance will be eliminated. Is everyone clear on the rules?"
I think so. So 2 get through and 4. Oh dear. I think I can count those.
Okay. Then bring forward the sledgehammers. And someone comes along with effectively a wheelbarrow and pushes it along the line. And as they pass in front of the line, they reach in and pick up a sledgehammer and hand it to each contestant as they go along, and across to the far end. And then obviously pull the wheelbarrow out of the way and stand well back. And the referee immediately says, "The sledgehammers are numbered, so whatever number you have, we will be able to measure the distance to it and identify who threw furthest with each heat. Good luck, everybody." And he says, "Throw when you're ready."
Cecily catches Cecil's eye and gives him a look that says, "Get this done, otherwise you're sleeping in the fish shed."
Hmm. Hmm. Cecil will beef himself up a little bit. He thinks about all those times he's carried Cecily home drunk from a night and thrown her onto the bed. The times he's had to gather the sprats for her. All the getting all those muscles working again. Any sledgehammer is no effort for Cecil.
Mm-hmm.
Until he picks it up and realizes it's quite heavy.
It is quite heavy, yeah. Yeah, it is quite heavy and a bit cumbersome because it's also quite long.
Oh, so long.
Yeah. So it's an awkward thing to throw, which is, after all, why they make you throw them. Glancing around, some people seem to be testing the weight and working out how they're going to do it. You know, some people seem very new at this. They may just have entered themselves without even trying it. But as for Glenn Henry, he is, throwing the sledgehammer back and forth between his hands, feeling the weight, and it looks effortless to him, like he could do this all day.
Manuel, come here, my friend.
Mm-hmm.
How many? Lift this for me. How many sprats do you think this equates to? Just so I get a good idea of what effort I need to put in.
Well, it isn't FD. I would estimate 11 o'clock on a Saturday morning will get to Sprats.
Oh, good deal. Oh, oh, it's a good day for Sprats. It's Saturday, 11 o'clock. Okay. I get you. I get the idea. Okay, I got it. Okay. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. We can do it. Come on then. Come on, Cecil. Let's do it.
All right. So, do you have an actual strategy in mind? A plan for how to throw a sledgehammer a great distance?
No, like it.
Okay. You're just going to give it a good old throw.
Why not? He's a simple man with a simple strategy.
Fair enough.
Win or lose, that's not why I'm here. It's ego. He's trying to get beyond his ego. He's not here for the competition. His ego would like to win it, but his main purpose here is for much deeper reasons.
Okay. Well, you give it a good effort. Cecil is a fairly strong lad.
He is a very strong lad.
Lad?
He's a D20 kind of guy, I'd say.
Oh, definitely a D12 man, yeah. And and he
the burn.
And he's gives it a little experimental swing. You're actually the second to throw. One of the sort of the less confident looking people throws first, and it sails out about 25 feet, which he looks quite pleased with. But you
as Cecil's preparing to throw, Cecily whispers, "Oh, it looks like that's my mother at the end of the drag. Oh no."
I feel suddenly empowered to throw it further.
Okay. You actually, choose to hold it a bit in from the end of the handle, and then windmill your arm to see if you can build up some speed with it before releasing in an upward arc. It's a fairly effective strategy. As you say, you just hoik it as best you can. And it goes about 40 feet before it hits the ground.
Oh, that's a good number.
The others seem to there's no immediate time limit. You're not restricted against the clock, so they're taking their time and trying things. But
one of them is finishing his pint.
But Glenn Henry is in no hurry. He's just watching everyone else throw, and when everyone else has thrown, you are still the leader with just Henry to throw.
Yes,
that
matters.
Silner will scurry over to Manuel and say, "Did you see that throw? He windmilled it like Don Quixote."
Beautiful work, you and Bailey.
Which I'm pretty sure was around in that year.
Pretty sure, yeah.
Someone's been on Google.
So
it was a callback. It was a callback to.
I did say we left our best material at the start of the stream before we started.
Eventually, Henry straightens his shoulders, looks like he's ready to go, and he swings his sledgehammer, and it doesn't even seem to unbalance him, the weight of it. He just looks so balanced and calm and confident as he lobs it out to just a couple of feet further than you've gone.
Ugh,
but it looks like he could have gone further if he'd needed to.
God, I hate those people. Ugh.
And the referee immediately calls for the person who threw hammer number 3. I'm afraid you are eliminated after the first throw. And one of the less experienced people nods and skulks off to a bit of a round of applause. People want to encourage him.
I'll sort of approach old Glenn Henry a little bit as the talk's going on. All right, my friend, you did quite good there. That's quite a good arm you got. Saving
you.
a little for saving a little for the final, I think. You must be the
Well,
favourites.
I'm always the favourite.
Eh, I've heard that about you.
You see the chap with the wheelbarrow going around and picking up all of the sledgehammers, and then
Yes.
he brings it back and goes along the line again, handing the 5 remaining contestants their sledgehammers.
Are you going to try and get us even further this time, my friend?
He he holds the sledgehammer and throws it back and forth between his hands, and he says, "I'll throw it as far as I need to."
Why don't you go second last this time?
He smiles and says, "All right, you going last then?"
I still won't beat you, but I think it's unfair that the same person goes last every time. At least set me a target, you know what I mean? Know what I need to get.
Yeah, okay. I think that's fair.
While this talk's going on, that Cecil will be looking towards his dear friends. Well, his dear partner and his new dear friends, because all his friends are dear, because he has so few of them. And nods at them and the group.
He's outlived them all.
I know, that's not fair. The group of the gambling gentlemen sort of edge towards them and try and infiltrate. So come on, I'm hurting my forearms here. Come on.
Cecily will interrupt his passage and rub his shoulders and slap his face and do other stupid, pointless stuff. And while she's doing all of this stuff, she will whisper, "And now it is my mother on our wedding night in our bedroom."
Okay. You ready for round 2?
I'm always ready for any round you throw at me.
Okay. So this time, you decide deliberately to wait until everyone else has gone. And 3 of them throw. The best throw's about 35 feet.
Okay.
No major improvement. And then Henry nods to you. And he judges where to throw it. And without seeming to put in any effort at all, he throws it just long enough to beat the weakest throw.
Okay.
So what position does he fall in this time then? So he's
Got to be 4th.
he's not in the top. So he's not in the top 2 then.
That's right.
He's that's very interesting. What's the I'll whisper Manuel Manuel over and Serrano. Could you two check on the gamblers over there? I think he's shorted himself. Check what the mood is over there.
Cecily nods to the Marquis of Wednesbury to go and take care of that. Meanwhile, she's focused. She's full angry eyes on Cecil, and she's slapping him in the face. You know what you've got to do. Don't be distracted. Get on with the job in hand.
Okay. Serrano, what are you doing?
He'll say to the other, of course, I'll see what the lay of the land is. There's but I think as long as he doesn't come last, he's okay, right?
Meanwhile, Cecily starts humming.
And on that note, we'll leave. Not too soon.
So, are you heading over to see the group?
Yeah, he would.
It appears, and you gather this pretty quickly, because though they're doing it subtly, they are clearly placing wagers, and much more substantial ones than just a gentleman's bet. Because when they took some wagers early on, you saw people coming and going when they first arrived. But the numbers of people approaching them seemed to fade away quite a lot after the Throwley thrower had his hype man introduce him, because they seem to be basically looking for people who will take bets against Henry. And once Henry was introduced as someone with a nickname, people were less interested. But now there's a little queue of people who've turned up. They've seen him look a bit weaker this time, and now they're much more interested in the bet. So that's what seems to be going on.
How many of them are there?
There are 4 in total in this group.
Are they all taking bets from the queue?
I'm sorry, I didn't catch that.
Sorry, sucks. It's my fault.
No, go on. No.
Are they all taking bets from the queue?
Yeah, they're individually talking to people. Yes, they seem to be working as a team, but not as a huddle.
Okay. So I will stride up to the group. I'll ignore the queue completely, because queuing is not for marquees. And he'll try and time it so he can walk straight up to one of them as someone leaves, give or take, or is it just about to? Good morrow, gent. And he'll sort of look at the money that's changing hands. Good morrow. How are?
Good morrow to you, sir. You look like a man of means. Are you interested in taking a wager?
Well, I was just going to discuss with you the lay of the field, if you will. The competitors still in it. That's I would say, and he'll lean in quite closely. That Henry chap looks well in control of the field, wouldn't you say?
Well, I don't know that. He hasn't really impressed that much with his throws so far, and he seems a bit erratic. His second was a lot shorter than his first. But if you're interested in taking a bet against him, of course, then I would probably feel honor bound to place some money on his victory.
What odds would you give against?
This stage in the competition, with it so wide open, I think a simple 2-1 would suffice.
2-1 on coming out on top.
If Henry does not progress, I'd pay you 2 for every 1.
Well, he correct me if I'm wrong. I am new to this. I'm new to this sport, as you would say. But he is. Do you mean progress from this round, not progress from the current throw?
Progress from the round, yes, the entire round.
I thought as much. Remind me again, how many progress from this round?
2 of the remaining 5.
Yes, of course, 2. Well, and in that case, he turns around and pretends to sum up the remaining field. Well, I am doing okay today. What would you say is a gentlemanly wager on such an undertaking?
I think a gentleman might perhaps wager half a crown.
God, that's 18 million in today's money.
I'll tell you what, make it a crown.
A crown?
If that doesn't make me ungentlemanly, of course.
A crown we can do. So,
Oh my goodness.
But only on the proviso
Mhm.
that you tell me some more information about this Henry chap. It seems as though you're all here taking bets against, and I don't judge. It feels as though there's some inside information to be gained.
Well, obviously, a gentleman would never bet if he knew inside information.
Well, indeed, but you hear things, don't you? And my bet stands as long as well, on the terms of the agreement, as long as information is provided, I'll bet a crown against.
Um, well, I'm sorry, we would be unable to, as gentlemen ourselves, we would be unable to take a wager if we had any special knowledge in advance. That would be horrifically ungentlemanly.
Indeed. Yeah, of course, you're right. Half a crown it is. Half a crown it is. Tell me, who are you? What's your names?
We
As
don't.
gentlemen.
We don't
You,
usually
Barney
share.
McGrew, Cuthbert, Dibble, and Grub.
We don't usually share our names with people we're not going to engage in a longer term relationship with. However, after this wager, if you're willing to continue, then perhaps we can establish some form of a line of credit, perhaps, and then of course we'll exchange all the details that you could possibly need to know.
A rapport, if you will. Indeed. Well, I'm not sure how familiar you are with the lay of the local land, but that could be something that could pique my interest. Here, half a crown is yours, provided Henry wins, wins, or comes second.
Can I just say it's one of my favourite things in the world when Ewan is trying to play hard to get.
Yeah.
I'm always hard to get. So what are you talking about?
Okay. So, back to Cecil. You are the only person who has yet to throw your sledge. There are 5 of you at the line, 1 will be eliminated, and it's either going to be you or one of the other inexperienced people.
So last time I threw 40 and the loser put 24. What's last place in at the minute?
About 30 feet.
Oh, I better still hoik it though. I'll put my name on the line.
Meanwhile, Cecily, as Manuel Manuel, has approached the person with the wheelbarrow, and is asking. She, as Manuel, my friend, I'm very excited by this contest. Maybe you would do me the honor of allowing me to hand out the retrieved sledgehammers for the next round.
Okay. The person turns and looks, recognizing you a little bit, and he then says, "I'm sorry, but under competition rules, only those involved in running the competition are allowed to touch the athletic equipment." But
Stop it.
I.e. the sledgehammers.
But as he says that, you notice, because you're obviously looking straight at him, you notice that his eyes flick very briefly to the little group of well-dressed men.
Yeah, that's what I needed.
You knew it.
And that's where we'll call it for tonight.
Oh, Bucky!
You knew.
You swine, Ben.
You got it.
Now I'm gonna have to remember that their sledgehammer is like than our sledgehammer and find a way to get into that. Like, I'm not gonna forget to poison the water again.
Write it down. Make a note.
I have some notes, and Well, if you remember at the beginning of this session, I did read a sort of recap, so I will do the same thing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. You sneak. Anyway, thank you guys for. This was,
Whatever this was.
as ever, the
It
most
was a thing.
ridiculous thing. Easily the most ridiculous thing I've done this month.
It is daft, and because of that, enormous fun. So
Yes.
thank you very much, all of you, and thank you to
Thank
everyone
you.
in chat who watched or lurked, and if you caught it on VOD or whatever, thank you for watching, and I hope you had some fun with the madness.
I know Luke has to shuffle off. That sounded terrible. Luke has to be elsewhere. Sorry, you're not shuffling.
Shuffling. I am at
but-
this age.
Maybe we would like to spend half an hour or so in Discord, maybe?
I certainly have a drink I could finish.
Let's do that then. Let me find an up-to-date Discord link. And then, yeah, hang on. Don't hit the stream yet because I'm being really slow and stupid. There we go. Okay. But also, hi, IMT. We didn't really properly greet you.
Oh, the mic
Yeah,
is turned up.
lovely stream.
Oh.
Oh no, Gaggers! I'm sorry, it's
It's
Lollygaggers.
lollygaggers. Yeah.
Lollygaggers.
Oh, I'm sorry, Gaggers, and I have so much. Anyway.
Gaggers.
I have a very real crush on at least 3 members. That's really going terrible.
Spill the beans, Socks. Tell us more.
I dare not. They know who they are.
That's fair.
They know who they are.
Of course they do.
know.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's our Discord link. Also, we got some mad Eurovision thing happening. So if you're not American and don't want to cry with confusion while Europeans get their gay on, you're welcome to come join us. Yeah. I mean, if you, I think Americans should be exposed to Eurovision. I think it would.
At least once a year.
Yes.
That's all the rest of the world can take.
Oh, stop
Oh,
it.
it's so cynical, so cynical.
Oh.
Right.
So
Thank you very much, everyone. We will be
Thank you.
popping into Discord in a few moments if anyone wishes to visit us. And thank you, Socks, for putting the link in the chat like
Yes.
that so that people can find
Pleasure
us.
always.
I'm sorry it doesn't come with any fanfare, but there it is.
There it is. It's fantastic. So thank you very much. I hope you had some fun. And if you can join us in Discord, that's great. And if not, it was really nice to have you with us as long as we did. Thank you all, and good night.
Yes, guys. Good night.
Good night.
Bye.